The shrill sound of the HOA notice being ripped from the mailbox echoed through the crisp morning air like a warning bell. My wife Amelia stood on the porch of our home, a soft breeze stirring her hair as she scanned the bold red letters stamped on the envelope. Final notice. Oh, fine. Her lips curved into the faintest smirk, a mix of exhaustion and defiance. We had lived in that neighborhood for 3 years, and in those 3 years, one person had made our lives a constant tug of war. Karen, the self-proclaimed guardian of HOA rules. She had fined us for everything. Leaving our trash can out 5 minutes too long, planting flowers not listed on the approved landscaping sheet, and once even for hanging our American flag too low. But this time was different. This fine wasn't about flowers or trash. It was because Amelia had painted our front door a soft shade of blue, a calming color she'd always dreamed of. The HOA rulebook said all doors had to be neutral tones. But Amelia refused to bow this time. "I'm not paying this one, Alex," she said firmly, looking me dead in the eyes. "I'm done letting her control how we live in our own home." I nodded. Then we fight. 2 weeks later, the storm hit. Karen didn't just send reminders. She showed up on our lawn with her little clipboard and 2 board members in tow, acting as if she were a sheriff serving a warrant. "You've ignored a legally binding HOA fine," she barked. "We can escalate this, you know. Legal action, enforcement fees, collections." Amelia crossed her arms, calm as ever. "Then escalate it, Karen." Karen's face twisted in disbelief. "You think you're above the rules?" "Oh, I will escalate this." She wasn't lying. The very next morning, blue and red lights flashed at the end of our driveway. An officer stepped out of the cruiser, adjusting his utility belt. Karen strutted behind him like she had personally summoned justice itself. I came out to meet them, but Amelia didn't flinch. She sipped her coffee on the porch swing as if she were watching the sunrise. Not a confrontation. "Sir," the officer began, "we got a complaint from the HOA about non-compliance and refusal to pay a fine. We're here to make sure everything stays civil." Karen cut him off with a shrill voice. "She's breaking the law." "She thinks she's untouchable, but she's not. You need to make her comply." The officer finally turned to look at Amelia. And then something shifted. His voice faltered, his posture straightened, and his face froze in a way that made Karen blink in confusion. "Judge?" Karen whipped her head around. "What?" The officer cleared his throat, his voice suddenly respectful. "Judge, Amelia Richardson." Amelia gently set her mug down, stood, and walked toward him with a warm but firm smile. "Officer Daniels." It's been a while. Karen's jaw nearly hit the floor. She had no idea who she'd been dealing with this whole time. My wife wasn't just a woman with a blue door. She was a respected judge in the county courthouse. She had spent years defending people's rights, standing for fairness, and refusing to be intimidated by bullies. Karen stammered, Judge? Judge what?" Amelia's tone was composed, but steel hid beneath the softness. "I've been very patient with the HOA's excessive fines, but harassing residents over personal preference isn't just overreach, it's intimidation. And that stops today." Officer Daniels stepped aside, hands up, clearly unwilling to side with Karen's theatrics. "Ma'am, this seems like a civil issue. There's no law being broken here." Karen turned red, sputtering like a kettle about to boil over. "But she broke HOA rules. You have to—" "No," Daniels interrupted, his voice firm. "I don't have to do anything. This is not a criminal matter. You can handle it through proper legal channels. But I'd advise you to tread carefully." The days that followed were tense, to say the least. Karen tried to double down, filing complaint after complaint. But now Amelia was no longer just a neighbor ignoring a fine. She was a legal powerhouse who understood every inch of her rights. She filed a countersuit for harassment and overreach, citing multiple instances of selective enforcement by the HOA. It wasn't hard to find evidence. Half the neighborhood had been quietly enduring Karen's tyranny for years. And when Amelia took the stand, her own courtroom, in front of colleagues who respected her, the truth spilled like a dam breaking. Karen's authority crumbled. The HOA board, once afraid of her loud voice, distanced themselves in a hurry. Within weeks, she was forced to step down as president. The bylaws were reviewed, and several rules, including the absurd door color restriction, were struck down. But the real victory came one warm Saturday afternoon. Amelia stood in front of our blue door, a paintbrush still in her hand. Neighbors gathered around, laughing and clapping, as more houses popped up with splashes of color, reds, greens, yellows. One couple even painted their shutters pink. Karen moved out 3 months later. The HOA board became more neighborly, more human. I watched Amelia on the porch swing, the same one she'd sat on that morning the police arrived. She didn't look triumphant. She just looked free. "Funny," I said, slipping my arm around her. "All this over a door." She smiled. "It was never about the door. It was about standing up when someone tries to control your life." And as the neighborhood bloomed with color, everyone finally realized what true community meant. Not control, but respect. In the end, Amelia didn't just win a petty HOA fight. She reminded everyone what happens when you stop letting bullies dictate your happiness.